Jenna, and today I'm bringing you another one of my top 5 OMG moments videos for the 100 season 4. Today's video is all about episode 2 of the 100, titled Heavy Lies the Crown. Now, this episode, for me, not a lot happened. It was very much more of a character-driven episode. It didn't have as much action in it, but oh my goodness, these characters just made me so angry. Ugh. So I watched this episode when I was actually away for the weekend with my friend, and I watched it, and she sort of came in. I just said to her, I was like, look, Alana, I'm so mad at all of these characters right now. I can't even really with them. So that's all I really want to say in the non-spoilery section of this video. So if you haven't yet seen Heavy Lies the Crown, I recommend that you go and watch that episode first. Then you come back and watch this video and you can discuss it with us. Goodbye, non-spoilery people. So if you're still here, I am assuming that you are all caught up on the 100 and are ready to discuss the episode with us. So I'm just going to jump straight into my top 5 OMG moments from this week's episode. Top 5 OMG moment number 1, Cabby. Now, you'll know how much of a massive, I mean ridiculously large Cabby shipper I am. So, you know, the beginning of this episode really like spoke to me, and I was really happy because it means that yes, we finally have confirmation Kane and Abby are actually in a relationship, and this makes me so happy. Okay, Cabby is real, guys. Cabby is canon, and I am just so unbelievably happy about this. I've been waiting for this moment since like, no. It probably was when I was rewatching season 1 that I decided to really start liking them, and then obviously season 2 and 3 sort of, you know, pushes them towards each other so much. So yeah, I'm really glad that they finally sort of taken that step and have officially shown us that they're canon, because that's something that I was really looking forward to in this season. But the one thing that I just wanted to say was, you know, that scene where she doesn't have her necklace on, which I thought was really sweet, like to have her still have the like Jake's wedding ring around her neck, and then for her to all of a sudden not, and Kane's just sort of like, oh, I understand, like, you've moved on to me. And then for her to go, by the way though, there's nothing for me to do here for Rowan, so I'm just gonna go back to Arcadia now. Why can't these two characters ever just stay together and be happy? Why? Because they want to destroy Cabby shippers for life, that's why. Literally though, this show just destroys like people who ship people. Just, if you don't want your emotions toyed with, just don't ship anyone with anyone on the 100. Best advice I can give you. Top 5 OMG moment number 2, Ilian. I'm really kind of hoping that Ilian ends up being a recurring character this season, because honestly, he was really interesting, and I thought he had a really good dynamic with Octavia as well. So I am super keen to see sort of what they come up with and how he plays into the story, whether or not he's just kind of going to be a one-off character or if he's going to become more of a recurring character in that sense. I think that he will, particularly because we got so much of his backstory in this episode. Like the very beginning of the episode was literally 9 days ago. He was killing his entire family because Ali was telling him to, and I mean that was just horrific to watch. I mean, oh, if you didn't hate Ali before, I can guarantee that you will hate her now, because that was just heartbreaking to watch. And so because of that, and then all of the stuff that sort of goes on between him and Octavia and him and the ambassador and just sort of him in general in Polis, I'm really looking forward to sort of seeing his dynamic and how his story affects everyone else moving forward. Speaking of Octavia, that brings me to top 5 OMG moment number 3. Octavia. So Octavia has become kind of a badass assassin in the beginning of this season, which is awesome. I mean, she's literally like walking around Polis with that hood on, and I'm just like, I just had serious like Throne of Glass vibes. Selena Sardothian, anyone? Yeah, I had serious vibes of that. She's definitely embraced the life of a grounder. Like, she is no longer part of Sky Crew. She is 100% Tree Crew. Like, that is happening. That is 100% like her. And I think that's a really interesting thing to sort of see that, and to see in this episode, she had no remorse when she killed that ambassador, like literally, and the way she did it as well was just so devious, and that was an assassination. That was not just like killing, that was an assassination. That's what she did, like with the poke and the pretty gross, not gonna lie. But and then the fact that she's just so like deadpan face with it as well. I don't know, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Octavia's storyline progresses this season, especially because she's definitely taken a turn for the deadlier. Top 5 OMG moment number 4, Farm Station. Personally, I am so conflicted with what happened at Farm Station in this episode, because on the one hand I understand why they saved all those slaves and they like detonated that bomb, because I mean it's horrible to see, you know, like 40 lives or whatever I think it was. They don't want to sacrifice anybody else, and I totally understand that, because that would be awful. But on the other hand, on the big picture side of things, they're trying to save like 4,000 people. So I don't know, I feel like that's a very difficult position to be put in, and I completely understand why it sort of divided Harper and Miller and Monty and Brian, and so Bellamy sort of had to have that last little say. But honestly, the fact that Brian and Miller were on opposite sides here and now they're not okay, that's not okay. That means I'm not okay. If Brian and Miller aren't okay, I'm not okay, because they are a really adorable ship and I love them so much. So to have them not be okay is just not okay. And top 5 OMG moment number 5, Jaha. Again, I still don't really get why Jaha is a character. I mean, now all of a sudden he shaved off his head and he's spouting like some really wise words to Clark. And I mean, I get that to a certain extent, because he understands more than anyone really what Clark is going through. The fact that she has this massive weight on her shoulders that she's desperately trying to burden so the rest of her, you know, the rest of her people don't have to. But I think Raven definitely sort of summed it up very well when she said, she's like, I'm not the chief mechanic, you know, even with Sinclair here, I don't think I could do this. And Clark just comes back and she's like, I'm not the Chancellor. And that made me think, who is the Chancellor right now? Like, Pike died, obviously, so he's not the Chancellor. And then Kane is the ambassador, so I don't think he can be ambassador and Chancellor. And I mean, maybe it's Abby, but then why would she have stayed in Polis? So maybe it is Clark. Maybe Clark really is the Chancellor, or maybe it's Jaha. I have no idea who is the Chancellor anymore, but I've gotten super off topic. But basically, I'm really curious to see. I know I said last week that I hated Jaha and I really want him to die, but after seeing what sort of happened this week and sort of how he was sort of coaching Clark in a way, I am actually really curious to see how his role is going to play out in the rest of this season. There you have it. Those are my top 5 OMG moments for episode 2, season 4 of the 100. Now I'm of course going to leave you with 4 questions that I hope get answered in the rest of the season. Question number 1, does Abby returning to Arcadia mean that either she or Marcus is going to die at some point this season? Because I really hope not. Question number 2, are Brian and Miller going to be okay? They're a couple goals and I just need them to be okay. Question number 3, how will Jasper's new happy-go attitude affect everybody? Obviously, in the case of Clark, she's like, yo, get back to work. But in the case of Jasper, I totally get where he's coming from. I don't just want us to survive, I want us to live. Yes, living is amazing, but surviving is good too. And question number 4, apart from the threat of radiation levels rising, what other story arcs are we going to get to see this season? So obviously in the past, you know, we've had like the City of Light, but then in that we've had all these other sort of storylines. So this season I'm really curious to see what we're going to do, as well as the radiation levels rising. Thank you for watching my second top 5 OMG moments video for season 4 of the 100. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comment section below what your top 5 OMG moments were for this episode. I would love to know. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Stay random. Bye.